Hi, I'm Danielle, and welcome to my perfume journal where I talk and write about the perfumes I'm loving, wearing, and sampling. Thanks for being here. In this video, I'm going to tell you about the perfumes I wore the most during the month of January. My channel is called Perfume Journal because I keep a very detailed, very nerdy journal. I guess it's kind of like a bullet journal, but I don't use it to keep track of my life or anything. I just use it for the important stuff, which is perfume. In the journal, I meticulously note everything that I am wearing, sampling, adding to my collection, what I am spending, and what I've decluttered every month. On my old social media page, I wrote a series of posts called Perfume Collecting for Regular People, where I kind of like pulled back the curtain and showed people exactly what the perfume hobby of a regular person looks like. So I guess you could say that this channel is going to be for regular people who love perfume and just like want to geek out over fragrances together. For these monthly most worn lists, I will be including all of the perfumes that I wore more than once over the course of the month. And for all of my fellow nerds out there, I wore a total of 27 perfumes from my collection and 5 samples during the month of January. And out of those 32 perfumes, these are the 8 that I wore more than once. So like I have always done, I keep a running list of my scent of the day and my scent of the night in my journal, which you can see here. My journal last year was a total mess. It was all over the place. And so this year I was like, I love perfume and my journal deserves a pretty home. So I gave it like a glow up and I used my neatest handwriting. And my 3rd grade teacher would be really proud of me. And it's a really relaxing exercise. I'm actually enjoying this a lot more than I expected to. Just taking my time to unplug every day and write in my journal. It's really a wonderful thing to do. I'm really enjoying this. But I don't like the way this looks, so I'm changing it for the month of February, but this is what it looked like during the month of January. Okay, so also in the month of January, I kept track of how many times I wore each of my perfumes. And I ended up really not liking this layout at all, so I'm going to switch it up for the month of February. But I did enjoy having one place to track how many times I wore each of my perfumes, whether it was a perfume from my collection or something I was sampling. And I love this kind of nerdery. I love statistics and data and keeping track of things. It scratches an itch on the left side of my brain. Maybe you like this kind of thing too, but this is what my perfume journal looks like. This is the kind of geekery that I involve myself in every day. And I love it. I love doing this because I love perfume. So that's what a couple of the pages in my perfume journal for the month of January look like. Yay. Okay, so the first perfume for the month of January is La Fille de l'air from Courreges. I just got this perfume in January. It was recommended to me by one of my perfume friends. Thank you, Jessica, for recommending this. I went for this perfume because I had successfully blind bought another Courreges perfume called Blanc, really enjoyed it, and thought I would give the brand another try. And it did not disappoint. This is an orange blossom perfume. It's very simple, it's very pretty. There's a little bit of neroli in the top, a little bit of musk in the base, but this is really just all about a fluffy, light, ethereal orange blossom. I love it. Courreges, I am discovering, is a really nice brand that makes some really good stuff at a really good price point. I think I maybe paid $20 for this. And I'm really happy to have it in my collection. So that's La Fille de l'air from Courreges. So next we have Mimosa and Cardamom from Jo Malone. I have had this perfume since maybe 2016, and I was originally drawn to this perfume because I thought it had some similarities to Oscar de la Renta's original perfume, Oscar. That's a perfume that I really loved and wore in the 80s. Now, they're not the same, but they have the same kind of feeling to them. They're in the same family. They have this puffy, powdery quality. It's like a big, fat, cumulus cloud of yellow florals that just follow you around on a sunny day. It is a scent profile that I will always love. I find this to be identical just about to Fleur's Not Your Baby, but I do like this one a little bit more. I think the cardamom is a little bit more pronounced, and this is one of my favorite perfumes that I think will always be in my collection. So that's Mimosa and Cardamom from Jo Malone. Oh, and I wore this twice. The next perfume that I also wore twice during the month of January is Andalusian Soul from the Merchant of Venice. So I had a sample of this perfume a while back when I was on this big vanilla kick, and I wore it every single night until it was empty, or I guess I should say near empty, because I have yet to find a sample vial that lets me get out every last drop. And I cannot tell you how many times I have attempted to pull apart sample vials, but I always stop because there was this one time in high school when I was in chemistry class and I was fooling around rather than listening to directions, and I broke a glass pipette trying to like jam it into a rubber stopper, and I ended up with a bunch of stitches and a nasty scar. So I learned my lesson, and I'm not trying that hard to pull sample vials apart anymore, but I digress. This perfume is a super sweet, super balsamic vanilla perfume. It does have that Play-Doh-y vibe that I usually really go for, but in this perfume, it's kind of overtaken by the sweetness to the point where it gets a tiny bit cloying. I will definitely still wear this out. I will use this entire vial up, but I don't see myself adding a full bottle of this to my collection. So that's Andalusian Soul from the Merchant of Venice. Moving on to perfumes I wore 3 times in the month of January. This is a sample of Venice Rococo from Arquiste. This is gorgeous. This is totally Madonna at the 1990 MTV VMAs when she came out all Marie Antoinetted up with her powdered wig and her rosy cheeks and her bosoms all pushed up. It is absolutely a beautiful powdery floral with just a little tiny bit of skankiness in the base. It is, I would say, like on the skankometer, like a 4. Just enough, not too much if you like a little skank in your powdery florals. It is just gorgeous. It's floral and soft and powdery, and I just love this. I could definitely see myself adding this to my wish list. I did promise myself in 2025 that I would wear a sample at least 3 times before I put a perfume on my wish list. And this one is a very, very strong contender. I probably have another wear or 2 out of this sample before I make my final decision. But soft, powdery florals are definitely my jam, and this one is one of the most beautiful I've ever smelled. So that's Venice Rococo from Arquiste. Also joining the 3-timer club for the month of January is Heliotrope from Perfumer H. I really love the elegance of the perfumes in the Perfumer H line. And I'm not talking about like elegance in a fancy schmancy way. I mean elegant in a simplistic way. Perfume compositions that are fashioned to accentuate one specific note or one specific accord. Lynn Harris has an incredibly delicate hand and a talent for this kind of perfumery, and Heliotrope is a great example. It is a lovely powdery almond floral like you'd expect from the name, but it is made even more beautiful by this gentle tangerine up at the top and this velvety, ambery musk in the base. I absolutely love to wear this perfume at bedtime. It's one of my most comforting fragrances and a perfume that I would absolutely replace in my collection when this bottle runs out. So that's Heliotrope from Perfumer H. Next up, also worn 3 times, is L'Interdit Rouge from Givenchy. This is a perfume that I got for Christmas as a gift. It is a beautiful, loud, huge, boisterous, tuberose perfume. It does not smell like poison, but it reminds me of poison in the way that it is so loud and boisterous. It is a really gorgeous, rich, velvety floral, and it has a lot of patchouli in the base, like a lot of patchouli. And I found this out because I had never worn this perfume before, got it for Christmas, opened up the box, and put on like 12 sprays. And I had this big, thick sweater on, and I about choked out every single person in the room. My sister-in-law was like, "What did you just put on? That is disgusting." And I was like, "It's L'Interdit Rouge, and I'm very sorry, but it is a 2-sprayer. Okay, this is not a perfume that you can put on 50,000 sprays of. You have to have a really light hand spraying this, and then the real beauty of the perfume will come out. That beautiful jasmine sambac, that tuberose note, and then the patchouli is just kind of like in the background where it should be, not choking you out and making you have to change clothes, which I did. I love this in winter. It's very cold outside, and when I put this on, I just think it absolutely sings. So this is definitely a new favorite in my collection. I'm looking forward to wearing this more in the cold months, and that's L'Interdit Rouge from Givenchy. Okay, I might have to do something about my lighting here, but anyway, the next perfume on my list is Violet Ida from Miller Harris. I wore this 4 times in the month of January. I'm surprised I only wore this 4 times. This is one of my favorite perfumes of all time. This is, if I had to make a list of perfumes that I think are the most me, this would absolutely be in the top 3. I love this perfume. But I don't think this is a violet perfume, at least not to me. I mean, there's violet leaf in it, which I definitely get. But to me, I think this is an orris perfume. I think this is a fatty, waxy, lipsticky orris with carrot seed, which I love, this combination. It's got an earthiness to it. It's got that sort of Play-Doh-y vibe from the Heliotrope. The amber in the base gives it a little bit of warmth, but this is like lipstick on a rabbit. This is Peter Rabbit Does Drag Brunch. I adore this perfume. I am very happy that my husband gave me a 100 ml bottle of this for my birthday because I'm almost out of this 50 ml and it has been discontinued. I would really love to see them put this perfume in its permanent collection because I think it's beautiful. I think it's one of their best, and that's Violet Ida from Miller Harris. And finally, the perfume that I wore the most in the month of January. I wore this perfume 9 times. 9? Yep, 9 times. It is Narciso Poudrée from Narciso Rodriguez. This is a newer perfume to my collection. I just got this in December as a gift, and I don't understand how I did not have this in my collection before now. It is gorgeous, like super gorgeous. It's definitely powdery, as the name suggests, but the powdery notes are elevated by those like sexy white musks that Narciso is so well known for. This is like a crisp white shirt, ironed to perfection perfume. It is elegant enough to wear out, but casual enough for every day. The bottle is gorgeous. I love that color, that blush color. That really represents what I think the perfume smells like too. And I love it. I'm so happy to have this in my collection. I'm sure I will be wearing this like crazy. It's beautiful. So that's Narciso Poudrée from Narciso Rodriguez. Okay, so that concludes my video of my most worn perfumes for the month of January. I have no idea what I'm doing here on this YouTube channel, but I do like talking about perfumes. I hope I get better at this over time because right now I just kind of feel like I'm rambling away. But if any of this resonated with you, if you liked any of the things that you heard today, or you have any perfumes that you wore during the month of January that you'd like to tell me about, I'd love to hear about them. Love to talk more with you and connect with you over perfumes. I really appreciate you being here with me and for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.